So here we are. You're a psychotherapist. I know you make really good money in America. Let's just keep it real. I'm sure you had a pretty good lifestyle here. Why? Why? Why would you leave what they say is the greatest country in the world?
Okay, yeah. And so that's, first of all, that's a myth about America being the greatest country in the world and the most powerful country in the world. Okay. And so I can go on and on and on about that. But if we're talking about materialism and that sort of thing, yes, America has, a lot of amenities as it relates to material gain and that sort of thing. But we know that in order for us to be happy and to have a good quality of life, it takes more than material gain. So to answer your question in a nutshell, I wasn't happy there. I was not happy in America. And I had to face my own truth. I tell clients all the time to live in their truth. And when I had a very good life in America. I was able to accomplish, all the things that I really wanted to accomplish, even being a therapist and having, a private practice on the ground and that sort of thing. So there were some things that I was able to accomplish, but I wasn't happy. Okay, because we're living in an environment of racism, police brutality, right? Capitalism on steroids is what I call it. Capitalism, there's nothing wrong with capitalism in and of itself, but in America, it's capitalism on steroids. It's like everything is about money to where there is really no good quality of life. So you wake up in the morning, you go to work, you're grinding, you're coming home, you don't have enough energy to even spend time with your family, to spend time with your children. Everything is a grind. And so we grind so much in America to where we do not even have the opportunity to live. It's like we exist, but we're not really living in America. It's about work, 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 work. And so this journey did not start for me, when Donald Trump was in office, right? And so this pull have been in me for a very long time. And so now with COVID and that sort of thing, it moved up my goal 5 years.
Wow.
So because it moved up my goal, because I had already always said that I wanted to go virtual. I was going to have a virtual private practice, all those things. But I thought I was going to turn my practice into a group practice and then I can just go and travel. Well, I said, I'll give myself 5 years. Well, when COVID hit, of course, I had to close my practice. And that moved all of my clients online. I was upset about that for about maybe 5 minutes until until Spirit was like, are you serious? Like you can pick up your laptop now
right now,
and this is a small window of opportunity that you have. So you're either gonna hold it or fold it. What you about to do, right? And so I was like, okay, this is my time. And I had already started doing research and that sort of thing. And so it's just all lined up for me. But a few years, prior, I was so frustrated with the system. Just so frustrated. And so sometimes we get comfortable living in trauma. I wasn't comfortable living in that trauma. I was not comfortable. I wasn't comfortable being in a space where my people had to have to march and demand equality, right? Who are they that I have to beg to sit at their table? Okay. When I can create my own table.
Okay.
Right. And so I just got tired of that because I know that God has created us to be a powerful people. From the beginning of time, right? We are a powerful people. And so it's almost like we are people that's destined for greatness, but we're living in defeat. We're destined for greatness as a people, but we're living in defeat and in America. So I just got tired of it. And so what I did, I tried to come off grid. So I moved to the country. I left the city. I moved to the country, got me some chickens, had my garden, start me a little homestead. I wanted to get me some goats. Okay. I hadn't got my goats yet, but I got my chickens and my garden just to kind of come off grid a little bit.
Right.
Because I was just frustrated with the system. So after being in the country, for a while, I still wasn't happy.
Yeah.
It settled me for a moment, but I was still attached to that system. Yeah. Okay. And I still wasn't happy. And so with me moving to the country and living that simple life, it prepared me for this day.
Yeah.
Okay. It prepared me for this. And so yeah, so I started, a few years ago coming off grid a little bit. And then finally, when my window of opportunity came, I'm like, I'm out of here. I'm out of here. I'm going to be with my people. Yeah.
Now, it's 150, no, it's 54 countries.
Yes.
On the continent, and a bunch of islands. You've been to South Africa. What was it about Kenya that made you say this is the place that I'll move to?
Okay, so before I made the decision for Kenya, I have to tell people this because this is important. At first, when I first started doing my doing my research and that sort of thing, I was like, I'm going to the Gambia. I'm going to the Gambia because you had these popular YouTubers popping up, which that wasn't my first time. Looking at YouTube videos about the continent. Actually, Caitlin from Namibia was my first YouTuber that I started looking at.
Yeah.
And but then the Gambia, everybody's going. I'm like, I'm going to the Gambia. So when I saw them chickens going in the beauty shop on one of them videos, and I was like, girl, you are not going to the Gambia. Like, you're just not going. You're not going because I have chickens. So I know what chickens do when they're walking around and all this stuff. So I was like, girl, you're not going to the Gambia. But I was beginning to feel pulled towards East Africa. Okay. And so Tanzania was on my list. So I had, again, I tell people, be real with yourself. Yeah. Know what you need to survive in a country and know what you need to be happy. You really have to do your work before you make this decision, right? Don't go by what YouTubers say. You get your information from YouTubers, but you really have to evaluate your life and decide what you want. Absolutely. So I know I work online. I know that I need to have excellent internet to make a living. Yes. It can't be internet that's up, down, or, doing all these things. It can't cut off, all the time. My electricity can't cut off all the time because it's a part of my livelihood. And so the work that I do, I'm not doing data entry, or I'm not doing something where it's like, okay, it can wait. I can have a client that's crying. We're in the middle of a breakthrough, right? And so I can't afford for the internet to keep, going down. So after doing my research, Kenya has the best internet. Over here. Yes. And so I'm like, okay, they got the beach, they have the internet. That's what I'm needing. It's you have some places that's not developed, which I'm cool with that, right? Mm-hmm. So I can still go to the villages if I want to. I can still drive down the street and see cows in the middle of the street, or see goat in the middle of the street, right? But at the same time, I have easy access to the amenities that I may need as well. Right. So Kenya it checked off all the boxes on my list. It did. It checked off all the boxes. Like, I'm like, okay, because I am, a country type girl as well, right? Yeah. And so I can roll with professionalism, but then I can roll and we in the garden, or we dealing with these chickens, or so I like that kind of stuff, right? Yeah. And so Kenya offers all of it. So Kenya checked off all my boxes. Yeah.
Wow. So was this your first time going to Kenya?
Yes.
Whoa. So you just said, okay, they got what I need. I'm headed to Kenya.
Yes.
Okay.
And had never been to Kenya.
So you've never been to Kenya before, and you decide you're moving there. What was it like when you got off the plane and said, okay, I'm in Kenya. For more on this video, please click the link in the description below. Thank you.